I carried out my PhD in Toulouse INP under the co-supervision of the Chemical Engineering Laboratory LGC and the Inter-University Center of Materials Research and Engineering CIMAT. The title of my thesis was Experimental Study and Kinetic Modeling of Chemical Vapor Deposition Process for Silicon Oxide and Oxynitride Thin Films for Aqueous Corrosion Barriers. This research has been funded by the French National Research Agency, ANR, and this was in the frame of ANR project Healthy Class. My thesis was executed in collaboration with the Extreme Conditions and Materials High Temperature and Irradiation Team, CEMTI, in Orléans. Two industrial partners were also involved in the project, HD Pharma in France and Air Liquide Laboratories in Japan. The principal objective of the thesis was to propose improved ways to protect pharmaceutical vials from extensive interaction with the medicinal substances stored within them. During long-term storage, this interaction can lead to glass elements and particulates being leached towards the drug solution and deactivate the ingredients of the drug. This in turn renders the drug unusable. The leached particles also pose a great health risk for the patients, especially in the cases where the drug is injected intravenously. Thus, in order to protect patients on one hand and increase the shelf-life of the product on the other, we focused on developing protective thin films that are deposited on the internal surface of the glass vials. Such interior coatings aim to stop the interaction of the glass container and stored drug, minimizing therefore the alteration process. The themes that we had to address were multiple. First, we had to develop a material that could withstand the hydrolysis during prolonged contact with the liquid medicinal solution. Second, we had to find a way to deposit this material by following strict requirements dictated by the glass production line. These requirements are twofold. On one hand, the high deposition rate is required in order to conform to a high throughput of the glass manufacturing lines. On the other hand, any coatings deposited on the interior of the glass vial need to be produced at temperatures that are low enough to be compatible with the glass transition temperature of the vial. After testing multiple deposition processes and materials, we fulfilled our objective through the deposition of silicon oxynitride coatings using a trisilylamine type precursor. What drew me to the subject is the fact that it requires a multidisciplinary approach. First, there is the pharmaceutics and glass industry. We need to know the target product, its challenges, and the potential solutions. Then, the next discipline is process engineering. We had to approach the subject first by identifying the optimal conditions that would be compatible with a number of specifications dictated by the pharmaceutical glass production line. Next, another key discipline involved is material science. We had to reply to questions such as which material is best suited for providing effective barrier properties, and at the same time, which material is inert enough in order to not interact with the stored medicinal substance. Following that, another discipline required to approach this topic is fine chemistry. We need to know our utilized chemical compounds and precursors in order to identify the ones best suited for our purpose. These compounds are selected based on high reactivity, high volatility, ability to form the thin film coatings at low temperatures, and additionally providing the least contamination possible. Lastly, having identified the suitable chemical pathways, another discipline we relied upon was computational fluid dynamics, also referred to as CVD. By using CVD, we could simulate the deposition process and replicate it in a three-dimensional environment. By simulating the process, we could optimize it without the need for time-consuming trial and error experiments. This helped us identify the optimal parameters and reactor design to deposit our barrier coatings more efficiently. When I think about the focus of my thesis, one word that will come to mind is barrier. Today, I am a researcher at Innovation Campus Tokyo at Air Liquide Laboratories, Japan, where I apply my skills in material science and process engineering in order to deposit thin films utilized in the semiconductor industry, and this using specialty gases produced by Air Liquide. Thank you very much again for awarding me the Léopold Escande Prize.